And welcome back to the Factor Uncensored. It's Wednesday night, so it's your favorite segment, Angela After Dark. And there are times in the bedroom when sometimes you feel like you are doing all the work, you're doing way too damn much. So what do? Dr. Angela Jones has some advice for you. So how do you deal with that, Dr. Jones, if someone feels like they're carrying all of the weight in the bedroom? And we're not talking about physically, like, I can't breathe, but
This is actually a very common problem. Unfortunately, it does lean to like the men complaining that they carry all the weight in the bedroom and the women don't carry all the weight. So I'm not saying that's for everyone, but I'm saying the majority, it's usually in that way. And it's a heavy burden to carry because what happens is that you're carrying the pedestal, the leadership stick of your intimacy in your relationship, because I'm sure if it's happening in the bedroom, it's happening in other places in a relationship. Like you're the one who's having to plan all the date nights, you're the one who initiates kissing, you're the one that initiates touching. So I'm almost certain that it's not just the bedroom. And if you start realizing, okay, yeah, this happens in almost everything in our relationship. She never picks out places we can go. She never initiates date night. It's always me. I think the conversation needs to not start with what's going on in the bedroom. It needs to start with those other moments that are happening in your life, because the conversation will naturally lead, of course, into the bedroom. But if you start into the bedroom, then it might derail the conversation into a different way.
What if we're dealing with someone who says, from the old way of thinking, old school, saying, well, I'm the lady and the man is supposed to lead, which I don't think any damn person says anymore. But what if that person is saying, I'm the wife, the female, and you're supposed to lead, and so you lead. I don't want to do it.
There's a lot of nuances that goes with this, because as women, most women were taught to be meek, mild, or we were told to keep our legs closed, or we were punished for even being sexual or showing our sexuality by people talking about us behind our back. And so a lot of unfortunate, I'm not saying this is right, it's just an unfortunate truth, a lot of the value of a woman was tied into how we were sexually or how we were not sexual. So there's this expectation that when you get into a marriage that all of a sudden you're supposed to be like this sexual beast and you're initiating sex. That's just not fair. Right? So hopefully you're with a partner that understands or even is hearing this and is like, you know what? That's right. Let me make sure she's comfortable with her sexuality. She may not even understand what she likes or what she needs in the bedroom. And you guys can kind of create a safe environment where she can explore herself. She can ask those questions. But that's one of the main nuances, is that we as women, unfortunately, were taught to be that way. And then the expectation when we get married or when we're in a deep relationship, that we're supposed to be like these wild beasts in the bedroom. And the question is, well, where would we have learned that from?
You're right.
And so these conversations have to be addressed not only with anger, but even just a reference point, just understanding like your partner's background or understanding what they have been taught. It would be a good thing to say, tell me what you've learned about sex, or what does sex actually mean to you? You may learn a lot about your partner by asking just that one question.
All right. Dr. Angela Jones, for those who are looking for more information on you and how to find you, where should they go?
They can go to my website at angelajonesphd.com, or you could go to my Instagram page at Dr. Angela Jones.
Always remember to have that conversation.